I was thinking today about sharing a tip that I find very useful. Have you sat on meetings in the afternoon after you had this like big lunch and the boss or the big boss is going on and on and on some long PowerPoint presentation and you feel like the drowsiness coming onto you? So here is a little trick. It comes from Jin Shin Jyutsu, and I used to do it quite frequently long time ago when in my younger days when I would have heavy lunches. Nowadays in my 50s I can actually go like only on one meal a day without being, feeling starved. So it's easier to kind of time your meal before or after or early in the morning, and then you spend the whole day not eating until dinner. But there used to be times in my 20s and my 30s especially when I was young and I was teaching a lot, and then I had the kids, and I remember that there were days when if I skipped even one of my meals, I would actually be on the edge of fainting in my classes while I was teaching physics. So anyway, the point is, if you have been in those meetings, you know what I'm talking about. Here is a very sneaky, very discreet Jin Shin Jyutsu self-help. In fact, it actually comes from yoga because it's one of the yoga, the hand postures, so the hand mudras. What you're gonna do is you're gonna use one hand to place the thumb here on the inside of your middle finger, and you're going to hold it like this. So you just kind of wrap your hands. You can see how the thumb goes on this side. Lightly. The whole point about Jin Shin Jyutsu is not to massage it. If you massage it, you're not doing Jin Shin Jyutsu. You might be doing acupressure, whatever, some other modality, massage, and that's neither here nor there. I'm not a massage therapist or acupressure person, so I have no idea how it is done. But the way I view the practice of Jin Shin Jyutsu is that you're working with the subtle energies that serve as the blueprint for our physical body. And so it's more like an electric circuit, and there's my physics teacher here kicking in. I picture it in my head as an electric circuit, only instead of being actual physical electricity, it's a little bit subtle chi network. And so when you do Jin Shin Jyutsu, no matter mudras or you place your hands, the goal is to actually to connect the circuit. So you're providing a rewiring of the entire circuit, and those with engineering background will understand what I mean, because we do this on a physical level. The engineers do it. If you have a complicated circuit, you have to watch out for dangling wires, or for something that might be grounded where you should not be grounded, for wires that can short your circuit. And so this is what we're doing. In a sense, you can think of it, we're shorting our subtle energy circuits by touching. So here you have the subtle energies going up and down through your fingers, through your hand. They go on the other side, and normally there is no direct connection, but when you connect one hand to the other, you're rewiring the entire subtle energetic circuit, remember, which serves as the blueprint of the physical energy and the physical body adjusting along that blueprint. So, excuse me. So what happens? I'm not going to go into theory. Frankly, I don't even fully understand anything beyond this rewiring of the subtle energetic circulation of our body. I don't quite understand what is happening. Some days I think I do, and then immediately I discover another flow that acts not the way I thought. So it's important to keep your mind open and just simply enjoy. Sometimes you can enjoy something even without understanding it. So when you do this, it's actually mudra number 1 in the art of Jin Shin Jyutsu. What I discovered, especially on those afternoons after a heavy lunch and having to sit through a meeting and people are reading off their slides and I'm getting drowsy, that it actually would keep me awake. it would help me stay alert. And it's very discreet because I used to do it like in my lap under the desk and nobody would be the wiser for it. And of course, me being me, when I got bored holding one way, I would actually turn my hand, and this way you place your thumb on the outside of the middle finger. So you can do that. Or you can experiment which one is easier. Both actually are shortcuts to the fatigue flow, which I already talked about it in the previous video. Remember, the fatigue flow had only one step where you kind of place your hands here on top of the head, but that will look very strange if you try to do it in a meeting at work. And so these two mudras provide much more discreet way to keep yourself alert and avoid that drowsiness. I liked it, and besides, it helped me actually survive through those boring PowerPoint slides. You know, one of those presentations when someone reads off the screen and you feel like, okay, I can read myself. Can we just jump directly to the interactive part of the meeting and brainstorm whatever we have to brainstorm? This could be an email. Why did you bring me? You know, you've gone through those thoughts in your head. And so it kept me entertained, but it also kept me feeling good. And I guess it's not a coincidence that it is today when I wanted to show you this, because today the moon is in Cancer. Cancer is that energy of cosmic comfort and emotional support and security. It is the most closely connected energy to the divine mother archetype. And Cancer has somewhat of a bad rap, but it's really about emotions, and not so much about bad emotions, good emotions, but more about us taking control over emotions, owning them, and using them just as the other elements and the other aspects in our toolbox, you know, like the way we go to school for acquiring intellectual skills, problem solving. Sometimes I imagine the schools of the future will actually have classes in emotional support or emotional maturity or emotional skills. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. And that topic on the moon in Cancer calls for a whole another video, which I will do another day.